Hello, everybody, and we're back, and it's your boy Elijah and I back with the duo. We're back, Elijah. We're back.
Good to be back. Yeah, we just had some exciting games. I don't know if you saw that, but today has just been quite amazing in terms of games. But we'll be moving forward to an even bigger game. It'll be second versus third today, KJ. It'll be the Panic themselves, who were formerly that first spot, but it was taken over by Bandits and Naughty Sausages, remaining in that third spot. But not to mention the severity of this game, the seriousness, but whoever wins this game is going to take that second place. Now, Panic already being that second place, but if Naughty Sausages manage to win this map, then they're going to take second place from them, and Panic will fall themselves yet again down lower in that leaderboard.
It's also very interesting because both teams have 4 wins and 1 loss as well. So whoever wins this game is going to take that second L of the season. So you don't want to be that team. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. So you want to take this dub here, and either way, it's going to be beneficial for you. You're going to take that second place and the map to do it on, Elijah. It is Cafe. So we've got all different maps today so far. And Naughty Sausages, they banned that skyscraper border theme park villa. And then Panic banned that Oregon clubhouse, bank, and chalet. So we're either going to go back to that chalet, but instead we went to Cafe, and I am keen for it. But I'm glad that Panic banned that Oregon, Elijah. I'm glad they banned it. They played it way too many times, but it's not there.
A map they played over and over again were their downfall in the last Playday, but this time they're going to be taking us to Cafe with Naughty Sausages starting out on that defense and Panic beginning their attack. So we'll get to see how they can provide a strong attack on a Cafe, or will Naughty Sausages just be that little bit more comfortable in terms of defending this map, as they have the advantage of starting out on that defense very first.
Yeah, and Cafe, it's an interesting map. It plays a little bit differently to how other maps play. It's a little bit more repel heavy, as we like to talk about, but it's very difficult. If you can't find your way into the building as an attacker, you're gonna struggle. And I'd imagine Naughty Sausages, as the defenders, are definitely going to do that, or try and achieve that at the very least. But we have these lovely webcams here to put faces to these names of these brilliant players. And we see that Snow, he's repping that Panic jersey, so always good to see it. But bans to come out, and it's an interesting one. We don't usually see Dokkaebi being banned out on Cafe, but Flores to follow as well. So that's a typical ban on Cafe, but Dokkaebi, Elijah.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Dokkaebi bans come out today, as Army to follow as the very first defending ban, and that'll be a huge pick in terms of how the defense is played all together on Cafe, as Army being used quite heavily, especially upstairs in terms of trying to hold the cigar lounge and the Christmas angles as well. You know, you're already playing behind those bars safely, as Army being removed is going to make that just that much harder. It's going to be really exciting rounds. These bans were mine to follow up as well. I mean, that's also an uncommon ban that you'll see amongst teams, getting rid of that Wamai. That's your boy, KJ.
That's my homie Wamai, the Wammus. He's banned. He used to be a very common ban on Cafe back when he had a shield and whatnot. He was very strong back then, especially on that pixel position. But now it's not really a ban you see, especially on this map. So interesting ban, but I like it. It forces you to play Jaeger or a Rooney to deny any sort of utility from the side of the attack. But something to mention, we did see on Nuki's cam, it said Cyber smells. I don't know if you noticed it a lot, but he's calling out Cyber there.
I did, yeah. I had a little bit of a talk before our game with the good old Nuki, and he did mention that he's going to have a sign up that says Cyber Smells, but he's also going to be wearing his creation shirt as well, which you got to see him have on instead of his Panic jersey. He's got that little floral on for him, so he's looking nice and fancy and ready for a very long and exciting game of Cafe.
I really do hope that it's going to be a good game, but, we forgot to mention that Panic, they came off a pretty big loss last week. So is that going to be in the back of their mind going into this game, as Naughty Sausage is going to play off of that idea, that concept? Or is Panic They're going to go play by, Playday by Playday and not worry about last week's misfortunes. I wonder.
Well, you can imagine that there is a full mental reset. Like this time you're not on Oregon, which were the only map that Panic had priorly played. So, I mean, being on a complete mental reset after a hard 7-0 loss against Tridents last week, you can imagine that being on a new map, versing a new team, obviously fixing your mistakes as well, you're going to take that into your next play day and work on that. You can see that's already reigning true as the very first kill of the round, Wizard manages to connect the kill onto Harry, and he was trying to lurk. Did it unsuccessfully. You've already removed one of the players downstairs and take it to a 4v5.
Very strong operator off the board too. That alibi, taking out the MX Storm is huge, but Hills with a massive pick onto ACOG, and that's used Sophia down. He did manage to clear the shield, I do believe, so his utility was used, but at what cost? His life for that matter, and I think, Panic, not all is lost. They need to start to take this piano control though, and start working out what they want to do with the control that is given. But Universe, he is down below lurking. Can he find a little nade from below onto one of those players on Cocktail at Hills? He's playing aggressive in shop, and if he's not droned out, this could be pretty deadly, Elijah.
Yeah, they've still got a lot of work left to do. It looks like that they've gone for a little bit of a split now. Wizard rotating himself onto those Cocktail repels, though. Life's going to find a kill onto Snow to even things up even further and give it into the man advantage. But back to a 3-3 now as Wizard manages to find the kill onto the Cocktail bulk as well. And even things up nicely for us both. Universe, he's finding himself downstairs to try and get some of those vertical picks, but nothing to connect just yet, as it is a 3-split push from Panic at the moment. Everyone's doing their own thing, trying to pinch Naughty Sausages into what could potentially be a kill box. Now they're going for their execute, working onto these red stairs as well. A smoke to secure yourself a little bit of a safe passage into the piano. Looks like Hills hasn't been droned out, so he's able to capitalize on that lack of intel and clean up Nuki nice and easy. Take it down to a 3v2 now as Universe makes his way up to the back stairs. Wizard to even up back to a 2v2 now. And there's only 23 seconds left for both of these players to make their way underway. Wizard, he's found himself in a little bit of a low HP though. Universe to collect onto Ryan. And down to a 1v2. And Hills is on the back foot in Cigar Shop. They've got complete site control now. The diffuser's going to go down. And Universe is with the hold as well. You've got nothing left to work with if you're on the side of Naughty Sausages now. The shots are going to give away your position. And Universe is going to collect.
Wow. Wizard going big, finding 3 as the hard support, opening the walls, droning in your players, but also finding those picks. That's a huge round for them there, and, obviously we can't discredit Universe either. He did really well on that lurk, able to work his way up those white stairs when the time was dire, and he found 2. And there we go, Nuki showing off that sign on the PC. He's getting rowdy. Rowdy, but I'd imagine that Naughty Sausages will have a response very, very shortly. It's tough for them though. They're missing their, a key player for them. I don't know what Mallow does behind the scenes in terms of the comms and whatnot, but Mallow's, he definitely brings a different element to Naughty Sausages. So having him out of that might be the difference maker here. Who knows? But so far, so good for Panic. They're able to find 1 round so far. They weren't able to find any rounds last week in that upset. But they've broken that curse. Thank God, Elijah.
It's the Oregon curse. When you play the same map over and over again, you're inevitably going to burn out, right? So Panic being on a new map, a whole mental reset for them, and they got to be feeling good about themselves. You can just tell by the energy, and it's going to match that. Just now being able to have a camera to the faces of these players is just proof of that. You can see that they're quite happy with themselves after winning their very first round of Cafe. They're going to look to get the second.
That's for sure, and I like the lineup coming out. We don't see as much Sophia play as we used to, but I'm liking that ACOG is running it. It's very useful at clearing utility and those shields. He's more so running it for the idea of clearing utility. But speaking of clearing, Harry's going to clear Wizard off the floor, and Hale, he's going to clear off Universe. Ooh, but Snow with the refrag there, but still Panic at that man disadvantage, and It's only 2 minutes in, Elijah.
Yeah, it looks like both of these teams are just looking to face check each other this time. I mean, already 3 players have fallen. 1 on the side of Naughty Sausages, 2 on the side of Panic. So it has put Panic in a little bit more of a dire situation now, but look at the white stairs. Saw him get up on top of those rafters. His position's given away as well. He will find 1 kill, but he will be downed in the process, I believe, and he's able to get picked up. Take it down to a 3v2 now. Naughty Sausages finding their momentum in this half now. Try to even it back to a 1-1 on the scoreboard. ACOG having a little bit of trouble getting rid of that pixel angle. A lot of pressure there is forcing him to do a little bit of more jiggles. Snow losing a lot of HP thanks to Life, getting some shots off thanks to the very strong DMR.
Yeah, even though Wamai's off the board though, Elijah, they're still struggling to clear the shield. So that's not good for Panic. They need to be utilizing and playing off of that fact that there's only ADSs. And maybe in IQ, you'd be able to spot out those positions and be able to, clear utility accordingly. But unfortunately, for the side of Panic, Orion, he's just going to stay behind that shield and be quite comfortable and safe.
Life, though, he's not going to let it get any slipped up at all. He's going to clear up a nice little kill for himself, and he has removed from the situation, but position of ACOG is given away, trying to get through the red corridor. Unlucky, you can't connect any shots just of yet, as Naughty Sausages aren't looking to let you have any room to breathe just yet, and he was going to confirm that.
That's a good response from Naughty Sausages. I think playing off of that is going to work out really well for them, and they're shutting down any sort of momentum that Panic is trying to build, and being on the defense. I like to say Cafe, it's sort of a more even sort of map. I'd like to say that if attackers struggle to enter, it's definitely more defender-sided, but if you have a good grip on shutting down those positions that defenders like to play in, it could be pretty balanced. But they do have the defense, they do have that clock to work with, and so far so good for Naughty Sausages.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
I do like to say that Cafe is one of those maps that really likes to test how coordinated your team can be, especially in terms of the defense and the attack. It is quite evenly balanced because there are a lot of extensions in this map that you need to have, and that really puts a strain on how much communication you have as a team. It's a good little tester, and I like to see which team has that stronger communication amongst each other.
Yeah, it's not a map like Border or anything like that where you can just sort of walk in and take what's yours and just take all the gunfights, go shoot, shoot, bang, bang. You have to sort of work together a little bit more than that. I mean, it is an FPS at the end of the day. If you do have the better fragging potential, you can most certainly do so. But in this sort of instance, most players know that when they take a gunfight, it should be a 50-50. And if they're not doing that, then they should try and sway it into their favor. And I'm sure that either team is going to do exactly that. But right now, we're even Steven with the score. Who's going to take the lead?
Well, Panic will begin their very first attack of the downstairs and kitchen. See how they can prevail against the defense of Naughty Sausages. And this time, looks like they're going for a little bit of an aggressive play onto the cupcakes. Warden to take a huge chunk of HP as well, accompanied by the fire darts of the Capiteo. That is run by Snow. And it's not usual that you would see a Capiteo on this sort of lineup, but it seemed to work out really well for them. They've already got control of the bakery as well. Habana already doing some work under the single holes, and you're running the Oyster as well to add just that much more phantom pressure. A little more cover.
Yeah, and they've opened up that wall onto Prep, and I'd imagine they're going to try and clear that mute jammer, but Nuki doesn't actually have any EMPs, Elijah, so I don't know how they're going to open up that wall. Oh, they're going to use the hard breach on the far right to do that. And that's going to get that open. And Mute's going to play rather close here. Hills, he's got to be careful that he doesn't give his life just yet. As life is also low, but no, Universe. He's going to take off the head of Hale. And
something I wanted to highlight that Universe was on the lurk as well. Amazing that Snow was able to finish off Life as well. He was low, trying to get out of Cupcakes earlier, but The fire darts will clean him up and take it down to a 5v2. But the lurk I was going to mention earlier from the knock, being able to find the first early pick as well. You can see Orion, he's in that closet. Hopefully the knock is aware, but Universe is going to hit the shot first, and Snow as well, finding a kill of his own, will leave Harry M in a very dire situation with a minute left. You've still got the C4 in hand, but you've got nowhere to throw it. ACOG is going to clean up Harry and take Panic their very first flawless round of this evening. They got to be happy.
That was an interesting round for Naughty Sausages. Unfortunately for them, Panic, flawless round. They found their way. They weaseled their way through their hold, and I think for the most part it was the bakery. Having that Wamai off the board, they're just able to utilize Capital. And when you can utilize Capital like that, it's very hard to hold those positions that you need to run down that clock, and that's exactly what Panic is playing off of right now.
To locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I like the Capital change. This is something that you don't normally see, especially on cafes specifically. So I like seeing that Panic is running it and utilizing it based on, like you said, Wamai being closed out, unable to be used. So it's going to make it a lot harder for Naughty Sausages to defend that Cupcakes, as we just witnessed in the prior round. But also on the side of when we inevitably go to our switch to Panic when they do their defense into Kitchen, you could think that Naughty Sausages could do the same. They could abuse the exact same factor that there is no Wamai, and you could use those Capitera as well.
Well, if you have a look, Elijah, Naughty Sausages are the ones that banned the Wamai. So you'd hope that they'd abuse that Capital is available and that Wamai isn't. But right now, that ban is working against them, specifically on that site, and I'd imagine that Snow is looking to do the same again. But Universe, he just
some nice shots today.
He's just hitting all the shots. He knows the positions of these players, and he's just shutting them down. He isn't losing those engagements, and that is big for the side of Panic right now. Kills, unfortunately, off the board, but his utility is all placed down, and he can go on those camps to help his team.
Looks like a little bit of a focus going on from the top down for Panic this time, as you've got Universe already made his way up into the piano rappel, as well as some of the players making their way into the engine and the train room, just to try and focus on this top-down control before they inevitably try to do their execute. Wizard just double and triple checking that there aren't any potential lurkers that'll come and bite them in the behind later on in the match when you're trying to do your execute. So they're doing really well on this intel-based attack.
Yeah, and the fact that Naughty Sausages, they sort of read into that Panic push bakery and just played direct. This time, Panic, they've switched things up. They're not trying to stick to the same comfortable thing and trying to put their opponents off guard. And I think that's a very, very good read by them. And bring the Buck and Sledge, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage and soft destruction to be able to get that vert onto those players in the site. And to be honest, Elijah, holding that site when there's all that vert on you, it's almost impossible. If Panic can execute correctly off of it, it should be virtually unstoppable.
Well, it's all determined on life at the moment. I mean, you can see the vert play coming out just super strong. They want to try to get this hatch open, and they're going to be able to do that successfully thanks to the ex-Kairos of Wizard as well. Buck and Sledge paired together doing so much soft destruction, just opening up the floors into the kitchen and potentially just funneling what is left of Naughty Sausages into a kill hole and removing him. The drone work from Wizard, already going to spot out one in kitchen, and you're getting the pinch on as well to clean him up. Life as well to find first kill onto Universe, but he's immediately going to be down thanks to the sprays through the couches of Wizard to try and bring things back. It is now a 3v4. Naughty Sausages being on that one-man disadvantage. Harry to take a huge chunk of HP to make things even harder for him as we push to the 33-second mark left on the round. The C4 to go over to Bar, but nothing to connect. There's nobody there. There is still one on top of that hatch there. Now, the position's going to be given away. The wall's got to be opened as well to the can openers. Looks like Orion's ready to set up himself up another kill. ACOG there with a swing. You're able to pick it up. I don't know if he's able to confirm that. Wizard's going to find to confirm himself, and that'll leave Orion left in a 1v4. Yet again, a close round, but Orion's going to find one kill onto ACOG. Go for the second. Will he find the third? Just narrowly misses him. The kill will elude him. The C4 will not connect, but you're in good position. You have to go up against your mirror. Little pre-fires to the Capiteo. A lot of headshots coming through from Orion. Will take him down to a 1v1 now. But Wizards retreated back to the vertical play. It looks like Orion hears the sound cue, so he has to go for a long arm. Little bit of a commitment. Chooses to go for the fake instead, but the vertical play is too much for him. And Panic will prevail.
Luckily for Wizard, he had that vert available to him. And that coffee position, you're not quite able to hide away from it, and well played to him. I don't think that Naughty Sausages expected him to be up there. I think he was looking more towards the hallway, but that looks rough for Naughty Sausages. He almost made something out of the impossible, and they're going to be careful of that going into these next few rounds. But not all is to be, to be upset. You can come back. It's only 1-3. You can tie things up and get that 3-3 scoreline. And when you go into that attack, hopefully you've got what you want to do when you move on to that. But for now, they remain on the defense. They're going to go back up to this bar cocktail. And they just need to play off each other a bit more, I'd say, Elijah. They need to play those refrags, play those positions together.
It's definitely a lot harder for Naughty Sausage, I would say, especially for upstairs, because you would traditionally usually have those keeper barriers for you, right? And that would potentially help you delay so much time in terms of holding down that piano, creating that pressure from anybody potentially who's trying to drop that red hatch, and that's been removed from you. So they've opted to have to go back and hold these long angles from inside a freezer way back into the bathroom, or potentially even all the way through the cocktail into the bathroom. So it's a little bit harder. It is doable, but definitely a lot harder than what you would normally be used to, thanks to the bans of Panic just being that strong and effective throughout their rounds.
That's for sure. And it looks like Universe, he just wants to keep doing his thing. And I'd say for Panic, that's probably a good shout. He should probably just be allowed to go on his little lurks, try and find his picks, and hopefully Panic can enable him to do so. But right now he's looking to enter this reception area, try and get probably some nades from below again onto that cocktail balcony from Reading. But he's just ensuring that there's no one here to shut him down. And it looks like he's going to try and go up probably white stairs, right?
Ooh, and maybe. I mean, he does have to be a little bit careful, though, because Orion is running those Legion mines, so that'll give away your position when you're least expecting it. But he's popped himself up inside of this closet here. You can see that's live. I believe he's got someone else there down the end of the hallway up to that elbow, so you have to be a little bit more careful of that. Orion is going to find a kill onto Snow. Universe to try and trade it back with a nice nade, but Life isn't going to let him slip too far, though, and he's going to clean him up thanks to his positioning in closet. He's going to remain downstairs. The position is going to be given away. A couple pre-fires through the walls. Nuki's going to try and connect some shots, but nothing to go through just of yet, and the man disadvantage will be on the side of Panic.
Yeah, no, I think they've listened to what we've been saying on that roam. You know, Harry did fall, but Life was there to refrag. And Hale, not only does he DJ in his spare time when he's not a gunner on Siege, but he's also taking off the head of Wizard, I do believe. So it's not looking good for Panic this round. And Naughty Sausages, they finally have a better grip on around here in the later half of the first half.
Ooh, an aggressive swing, though, from ACOG. He's going to be able to clean up Life, though, but Hills is going to let him get the trade and leave it down to a 1v3 now. Not looking too good. Nuki being the very last member on the side of Panic at the moment. 35 seconds. You haven't got much to work with.
No, you don't, and there we go. All the crossfires, all the swings from Naughty Sausages. They find their response, and I'm sure they're wanting to carry it over to the final round of their defense. And yeah, Panic, they didn't look as confident going into that round, and I think for Naughty Sausages, if they can secure this next round, going onto that attack is definitely going to be beneficial. But I think it was that play below, you know, shutting down that knock, shutting down that lurk potential. That was huge for Naughty Sausages. They were able to read into how Universe was playing, and although that they, you know, lost that player in that hallway that you talked about with that nade, They had the refrag there. They had the positions in place to get it back. And if they continue to do so, they're going to find round 6.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I think that's Naughty Sausages doing well in reading into how Panic is playing. You know, they finally realized that Universe time and time again has chosen to switch to that knock over and over again, and it's been successful. The lurk from him has just been a pain in the side of them, and this time they're finally setting it up nicely to counter him perfectly, and that is essentially what could have been the reason you won that round altogether, because you cleared up those early picks, you got the man advantage, you got back to the site, you played those trades. That's exactly what we like to see in terms of defense. So they'll have to do it again. One last time.
They will, and they definitely have the ability to do so, but we're seeing Snow. He's running the 0 this time. I don't think we've seen that from anyone from Panic just yet, so I wonder how he's going to utilize those 0 cams to help his team within this round. But Universe, he is on that knock again, so hopefully if Naughty Sausages read into that again, they can work together to shut that down and hopefully do the same as the round prior. But for Panic, they're starting to play and fall into their old ways, and that's why Naughty Sausages have been able to find that second round, so they need to sort of switch things up.
Looks like they're hard focused on trying to get this top floor first. You can see 2 of them on the rappel, or just 1 now as one heads up to the roof to do some live droning as well onto the cocktail player. Orion able to capitalize the first kill on the round onto Snow, and that'll remove that 0 from play. Universe to trade it back though to a 4v4, but a little bit of damage done to Hills is going to make it even more sided and favored for Panic. Nothing to go out in terms of kills though. Looks like they forfeited that top floor.
They have, and you know, the site is reading, so if they're able to just fall off and waste the time of Panic, they still have Vert to get. They still need to do it, but there's still plenty of time to do so. It's only halfway in the round. They've already given up that top floor control, like you said, so all that's left now is that Vert, so that they can prepare for that execute, I'd imagine, onto reading. But C4 to go out, they're going to be careful. And Harry, he's going to shut down Wizard, and that's your ace. So no hard breach to come of that onto that pillar wall. So now they probably will have to funnel that reading door and have the Vert players cover them.
You've got a decent amount of util here for that soft destruction as well. Orion to connect the kill onto the lurker himself, Universe, and it looks like Nuki is aware of Hill's position on the bottom of these lobby stairs as well. He's got a cook and aid, but a swing is going to shut him down, and a trade won't be available, but it will leave ACOG in a 1v4, and it looks like it's a game of clutches at the moment, KJ. 1v4s all around.
Yeah, it's a bit of tango right now, and ACOG, he doesn't want to dance with life. He's trying to find some exit frags, maybe even clutch the round. 15 seconds, 1v2. The positions are close, but he's going to stick that diffuser. He finds Harry. Never mind, not going to stick the diffuser, but now he sort of has to. Otherwise, he's forced to plan an Orion. He's just going to play safe and run away. Unfortunately, ACOG not with enough time, but 1v4, he almost made it work.
He almost pulled it back for his team, and I was sitting here with fingers crossed. You know, I was hoping that it was doable. He had the passion in him to do so. He got 3. He almost got that last one, but the time was against him, and it will take us back to a 3-3 any man's game on the switch up.
Yeah, he definitely had the dog in him. I believed. But Orion, he played it smarter. He knew that he could run that clock, and I think that was well played on his behalf.
Absolutely, it was a good read by him for sure, and it did force them to either take the kill or plan, and you were winning that regardless either way. So well done to those decision makings, and it will take you back to a square one now as you've managed to tie things up here for a 3-3. And we get to see how you work on that defense now, which I like to see. Now Panic, they're able to start off their first area defense upstairs into that cigar, into that cocktail. Let's see what they've got cooking.
Yes, let's see, but So often, time and time again, we've seen such a close first half. And then all of a sudden in the second, it's just a complete dominant performance from one team. So I wonder if that is going to be the same sort of tale here for this matchup, or if we're going to continue that close game and maybe go all the way to overtime. Because by the looks of it, well, that's how it's going.
Well, hopefully Naughty Sausages are feeling quite confident on their attack. We get to see how that'll work against Panic. You can see already setting up some drones downstairs to make sure you're not run out on. Hail already doing some of those thatchel works. Believe he knew that there was some util there that he needed to clear, and he'll be able to do that successfully as they get some of that hatch work underway.
Yeah, they're going to start to open up these hatches. Bit of a dangerous choice with that breach charge, but he's going to do it nonetheless. But something on the side of Panic that we haven't seen from Naughty Sausages is the addition of a maestro. It is not unusual to bring a maestro for this site, but it isn't as common as it used to be. And I like this from Snow. You're able to deny any plants or drones from coming in from that bar sort of cocktail area, and it opens up a lot of intel for that post-plant potential.
Well, not only that, like, I do like the maestro idea, but one thing that I've noticed that both of these teams have neglected to run upstairs, but on Naughty Sausages' defense, they didn't touch Mirror unless it was downstairs into kitchen, and now Panic, now they've moved upstairs on their defense. They are opting to go against that Mirror as well, which is quite common for this side. It is quite strong to run a Mirror. I guess you need to be a little bit more careful in terms of those cocktail repels and potential grenades below, but she does have a lot of phantom pressure that she brings.
Yeah, that is a good point to mention. You know, Mirror is in play, and neither team has chose to run it at all on any of the sites, I do believe. So
there was run on kitchen, but upstairs, on the clutch, Orion almost clutched using Mirror.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
But they just haven't used it upstairs in the cigar at all, which is surprising. You know, you don't normally see that pretty often. And I'm very used to seeing a Mirror being played upstairs more commonly. But they both needed to run it. Looks like Orion's trying to get active himself, though. Already swinging on that new belt. Got the worst of that engagement, though. Ted to miss a little bit of the kill. Harry with a nice shot through the walls, going to be able to collect onto Snow, and Hale to find a one of his own onto ACOG. Will put Panic in an even dire situation as it's a 5v3 now for both of these teams. They've got everyone alive. Orion's definitely not looking too healthy, though. You can see some of those trash angles being opened, but the smoke from Universe is going to prevent them from walking through it just yet, as they will burn most of the time. Wizard going to get a feel of his own, but Life is trying to get active himself to find a kill onto Universe, but Nuki's going to trade it back onto Life and leave it to a 3v2. Shotgun is out, going to prevent you from swinging too aggressive now, but Wizard's unaware of the position of Hills, and Hale will close out the last.
Wow, that was chaotic towards the end there, but luckily for Naughty Sausages, they had the angles, they had the plays, and they were able to have that trust that they had that plant protection. Hale and Hills, they had it in the bag, and Naughty Sausages, they're looking pretty good on the attack. They definitely seem more comfortable on it than the defense, in my opinion, but hopefully it can continue to do so.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being used by attackers.
Looks like they're going to try it again. Upstairs. They're going to remain onto this site. They're going to run the same sort of lineup. They definitely want to stick with that Maestro, so it might be something that they're looking to work on. You know, they won't want to fix those few things. I did notice that there were some missed opportunities from Panic to capitalize on Naughty Sausages. Some missed kills, missed bullets. But maybe they're going to work on that this round. See, this time they'll work it better.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Panic, they just weren't ready for that sort of explosion from Naughty Sausages, and they just played so aggressive in that piano, so hopefully they can deny that aggression coming from Harry. Specifically, he gained that pixel control, and he gained so much from it. He's able to find some picks and a lot of control, so they're going to be careful of allowing Naughty Sausages to have that.
So they're going for the same sort of take. A little bit of repels on that south side this time. Maybe trying to get a little bit of an angle into that bathroom. Doesn't look like anybody's playing it this time, though.
No, they do have that player in Pixel, so he is looking to hold down that position. And Hills, he's going to open up these hatches, as well as Hale to open up the red hatch. And they're just sort of opening up everything that they can, and then they're going to get on these rappels and try and get Piano. That's usually the step that you take. You want to try and get Piano as much as you can. It's such a vital position to winning the round and getting that plant down. If you're not able to clear it, you got to hope that you can find something on the other side. But for the most part, it looks like they are trying to get this Piano control. And the fact that they only have the Jaeger, remember the Warmite is banned, it should make it that a little bit easier. But they're utilizing Thatcher, which we didn't see Panic use, Elijah. So I like that change from Naughty Sausages. They're utilizing those EMPs to disable those ADSs and then clearing the shield. Genius.
Yeah, thanks to that util and that communication as well from Naughty Sausages, they're able to easily remove that Pixel player from play, open up that potential to push in and gain control of that Pixel. Now Hills, he's trying to go from the bottom up of these VIP corridor and the white stairs as well, but the live droning and the Pixel players are going to be given away. You're unable to get aggressive amongst him just yet, so Hills is going to play back a little bit more safely now as the roam is given away. Nuki unable to capitalize on any kills yet, and it's still a 5v5 for both of these teams. Little bits of damage have been done, little bit of pepper sprays, but nothing serious as of yet. The EMP is still doing a lot of work in terms of clearing out util, but not enough as those ADS are trying to stay alive and clear out even more.
Yeah, and the time is ticking though. Naughty Sausages got to work something here, but Orion is going to take a big chunk of damage from Universe. He's going to do a lot of damage, and if he falls to a smoke canister or even a maestro cam, he can't go for this plan, I would say, Elijah. He has to get somebody else to do it. He's going to drop it though, as Hale is that full HP. And he's Harry. He's in bathroom. He's able to find one on Tanuki, and I'd imagine all the chaos is about to unfold here. ACOG to find Orion. 4v4. They've opened up freezer, smoke canisters to go out. They're all over the shop now, but Wizard, he's holding these white stairs. Hill's going to take him out. Can they find the Stacks player? He's going to fall though. Life to find ACOG. Universe to find Harry. 1 second left on the clock. They're going to get this plant down, but no. The defense is too strong. No time.
Oh. Looks like Nuki went for a little adventure after he found himself being eliminated, but looks like a timeout will be requested for Panic. They need to sort of reset their mental, as it is a close game currently, a 4-4 for both of these teams. As we have a look at these lovely scoreboards, you can see the difference between both of these teams now. Naughty Sausages being a little bit more favored in their half, as they won 3 rounds, but also on the side for Panic, winning 3 of themselves. But so we've gone for it's just a trade for both of these teams. You know, they're not letting anybody slip at the moment. Universe being the top fragger of Panic, followed by Hills on his side.
Yeah, but for the most part, Naughty Sausages, they're a little bit more evenly spread. But Nuki, he seems to have taken maybe that time out so that he could go run and do something real quick. But he's back. He went for his little jog. But he's back to get into the action of this game. And 4-4. We've had such close games today, but this is going to be another one. But he's just reminding us that Cyber does smell. I don't know why he does smell, but maybe Cyber, if you're in the chat, Nuki's trying to tell you something. Go for a shower, mate.
Get to scrubbing. He does smell. But let's see if that timeout had any effect at all, or did Nuki just use it so that he could go to the bathroom or run some errands quickly before we move into the next round. But hopefully they had some little bit of talking amongst them, trying to clear up the things that they need to win out these next few rounds as we push downstairs for Panic's very first defense in the kitchen site. They're bringing in Echo, which I like to see. But interesting on the side of Naughty Sausages though, they're not bringing the Capitator, which is what we saw Panic use on their attack, but they are bringing that Montaigne.
They are, and they're bringing the Monty in pair with the Nomad. We don't usually see a Nomad on this map either. It's not uncommon, but it's not often that we see it. So I wonder if they're going to use that to just push directly onto Bakery and then shut down the flank coming from Small Bakery and whatnot. And we see the first air jab to go out for the jump out of Small Bakery. But look, they've got the Aruni gate set up. They've got the Jaeger ADSs. So if Wamai's not in play, that's definitely what you should be running. And they have to clear it. They want the drone to go through the window there.
It does look like they do have a player behind Cupcakes, and he's accompanied by the Small Bake player as well. It's the Echo with a nice 1.5 as well. He's going to be able to rotate. No, he's been cut off a little bit as well, and thanks to the crosses of the Ace being able to open up that single wall. Shotguns will help Nuki rotate away safely as well, but the Montang is going to make your life hard in terms of holding out that Bakery now, as you're not going to have any trouble being the spearhead, being able to narrowly push your team through those doorways, and being behind it, you're going to be feeling quite comfortable and safe.
Yeah, but Aruni, she's trying to get that Vert onto the prep to deny anyone walking through that, and starting to get Vert onto the site itself. Try and get an angle onto that Bakery rotate, but Life, he's looking to try and get into prep here. He is aware that there is one prep window, but also one above on the Vert, and he does shoot.
Ooh.
But a bit of a trade for damage. Life to take the worst of that engagement, though. It's just trading for damage right now.
You can see all the pressure that is being added just by having that Monty alive for Panic. They don't know what to do. They need to work around him. ACOG is going to clean up Life and remove Ayana from play, but she had already used some of those grenades to try and clear out those angles. But isn't a man down, so it's going to be a lot less hard for Panic, as they need to worry about one less gun, one less potential lurker as well. Snow to clean up Orion and to collect up another kill thanks to the Echo being able to use that Yokai drone to clear up that shield universe, capitalizing on that. And ACOG to find a kill of his own will leave Harry M in a dire situation of a 1v5. Panic being even stronger on their side, on their kitchen defense. Harry to find a kill onto Wizard and gain control of that vertical. Looks like nobody's exposing themselves too much though, unless it's Universe. Harry M will find the kill onto hit.
25 seconds though, 1v3. He needs to ace, I do believe, to win this round. So maybe taking this time to sort of talk with your team, work out what's wrong, and sort of try and work something. But the Echo able to shut him down, and I really liked that Echo play onto the Monty. Able to stun him, stop him from fully extending, and then your teammate on the Jaeger able to swing off of that call, and that was some really good team play from Panic.
Yeah, they worked really well together, especially reading into... I don't know how they knew, but the fact that they bring that Echo for that Yokai, it definitely put a huge problem for Monty. Having that... If you didn't have that Echo, I feel like the round would have been quite different for Naughty Sausages. I mean, dealing with that Montaigne is a really rough thing to do when you don't have people like Legion, C4's impacts, or maybe even obviously the Yokai, which is what inevitably cost Montaigne his life in the end. So really well team composition from Panic, being able to read into that and collect yourself around, will put you one above Naughty Sausages as you move to the reading side now.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, and this is the tertiary site, so it's not always going to go in the side of the defense. You got to be careful. If you give up that vert control easily, you're going to find yourself struggling on that defense and holding that site below. And they are bringing the Valkyrie though, so for the side of Naughty Sausages, they got to be careful of that C4 potential, as both Mute and Valkyrie have those C4s, so they got to be cautious of that. And it does look like they're going for a direct vertical take, because they do have the buck and that sledge, and surely you wouldn't be going for a horizontal if you brought those two characters.
See, they're trying to go for a little bit of a top down, which is traditional for their site specifically. You need to get that top floor before you do anything else. It is at the very top of your checklist, but you got a lot to deal with. You can see ACOG running that Valkyrie. He's accompanied by a C4 as well. Snow's got a C4 of his own, so you need to be a little bit more careful in terms of this vert. Do believe you can see ACOG downstairs into train as well, already set up nicely. So if he does have the intel off of that black eye camera, could potentially be in piano, he might find the kill onto Hale. You can see the yellow pings coming out already, and he's going to stand up, see if he can get a pick of his own. Double check those cameras, see where the position is. He's going to see if he can hit a connect. And it will not. Oh, back into it. He runs it and he gets it in the end. But also some kills off the screen as Wizard is able to connect onto Harry. But Naughty Sausages finding themselves a kill as well. Hale to find the second as well. But Wizard's going to connect it back into that trade. Leave it to a 2v3 now. Still on the side of Panic though, as they have that main advantage of that one. As it is all left to Hills and Orion to clutch it out for the rest of the team in hopes of bringing it back to an even 5-5. Hills will confirm that though and take off Wizard and take it down to a 2-2 now. As you've still got the site left to push. A little bit of a split though. You do manage to have control of the upstairs, so that'll definitely be in your favor. And you've got a little bit of an intel gathering time as well. You've got a minute left to work with. You know that Universe is the only person in reading, and they know that they're in train as well, as I got to see the pre-place drone being pinged earlier. ACOG able to get his own kill, but he will find himself down thanks to Hills being able to get that trade, but he has to be a little bit careful of that 90 repel. Unable to get the confirm.
Yeah, but Universe, because he didn't get the confirm, he might be able to get the pickup, but no, Hills, he's going to try and fake it. And try and catch Universe off guard, but he's going to smoke off the footholds. Doesn't quite know that he's down, so he's going to maybe waste his time to finish off that player. Or maybe, surely he's aware now. Surely he walked past to be aware, but Universe, he's aware that he's pushing 90, and unfortunately for Naughty Sausages, Panic are now on that match point. One round away from taking this W.
That was closer. You know, they did almost pull it back, and thanks to that, Naughty Sausages, knowing that they're on match point now, they will use up their slot for their timeout to see if they can gain some momentum themselves to bring us to a closer game, because for the moment, Panic are just being so dominant on their half. You can see Naughty Sausages only winning one on this half at the moment. Panic just being super dominant. They need to clear it up.
They do, and they're taking this timeout. Only 2 rounds down. So they can still make work of this. They can still even up that score count and go into that overtime. But unfortunately, if they do go to that overtime, their 3 points for them or for their enemies will not be present. And they will be fighting for 2 points. But for now, Panic are looking to secure those all 3 points. And, you know, boost themselves on that ladder and in that second place.
Well, we'll be going upstairs, though, to that bar cocktail. You can see 2 different sorts of denial coming out from Panic this time. It's 3 even so if you want to add on top of that the smoke on Universe. But you've also got Snows running that Maestro, and the ACOG as well is going to be running that Echo. Plus you've got the Solus even as well if you want to go for that potential lurk. So it definitely looks like Panic playing a little bit of an intel based game. Definitely trying to deny a lot of the attack from Naughty Sausages.
And
I like the lineup.
The Jaeger has a bulletproof as well, so they're looking to get all sorts of intel and deny any sort of push from Naughty Sausages. They got to be careful of taking this. But we saw how well they took Piano last time. They utilized that Thatcher, and they're able to clear that pixel shield so very early, and they can do that again. They can force Panic to be pressed for time and have to push back. Otherwise, they gift that pick, and Naughty Sausages can do that. They can win round 10 here. Round 11, sorry. I can't count.
We can tell they're being they're being a little bit more careful. You can see Solus reading into her ability, being able to spot where majority of the players of Naughty Sausages have spawned, and they are doing their push, and that info is going to be received and traded back to the rest of the team, and that sort of early intel can be huge in terms of defense. Knowing exactly what side that they are focusing on can change up the round altogether.
It definitely can, and I think that's what they're trying to do here. But they have a lot of work to do. I think Life bringing that IQ, though, going to be able to spot that Echo Cam out. And if you can shut that down early, better chance of getting that plant down in the future of this round. But still, they got to clear this Pixel Shield. That's the next step in this plan, is clearing this Pixel Shield. I do believe they've already got that red stairs control. I don't think anyone's denying their entry into shop if they wanted to do that, but they're just running out the positions of these ADSs, figuring out if they can EMP or where they can EMP from, as well as the Jaeger playing here if they can shut him down. But Nuki on the Jaeger able to shut down Hills, and that's the Thatcher. So no EMPs to deny those ADSs from being shut down. That's a huge pick for Panic.
Yeah, that'll definitely change it up completely. Orion with a nice shot through the little pixel will be able to clean up Nuki to trade it back to a 4v4, but he did take a huge chunk of HP in that engagement within itself and leave him just to about 10 HP. Now, you still have that IQ alive, so that'll definitely help in terms of that Echo that just got cleaned up thanks to the IQ. So a lovely shot there will make it even easier for Naughty Saucers to get the execute underway, but you've only got one Evil Eye left to deal with, as I saw the Gon 6 earlier being utilized, was able to clear out one that was on the side of that, under that default camera. Orion, yet again, going big for his team to find a kill onto Wizard, but Snow not to let it drip too far, though, as he finds the kill back onto Hale and takes it to a 2v3. Now, Orion is essentially really low HP, even more so for Life if he gets an engagement of his own. Now, Harry M being able to clear up Snow and leave Universe in a rough position, but he's able to clear up one. Tries to go for the second, and he's aware of the position as well, and he's got a few more bullets left in his SMG. He needs to reload. Sound Q's going to give away thanks to the intel of the Evil Eye. And Universe, doing the clutch for his team, will take Panic their win. 7-4.
Universe going big, and you see Wizard, he's getting hyped, he's getting excited, and that's what we like to see, and luckily that's what the cameras bring for us to witness. And that was a good round from Universe. Unspeakable things just occurred, and he, in no sense should he win that any day, but unfortunately he found his way around Naughty Sausage's push there, and he was able to shut it down perfectly.
Universe definitely being a highlight player for that entire game, the lurks, and then in the end just the clutch that pulled it all together. Definitely I would say that I would consider him the MVP of that match altogether. But what a lovely match it was. Cafe 7-4 for Panic, and they're going to remain still at that second place, so that'll leave Naughty Sausages still stuck into that third. You got to be happy with that. Panic coming off a loss last week. You can imagine that they've got that mental reset. And we will be able to talk to one of these boys as well. And I do believe, if I got to guess, that it's going to be Nuki that will be joining us. But there's still room for others. You never know.
There is. And they're all lovely people. So I do believe it is Nuki. I think we got confirmation. So we finally get to talk to the Croatian sensation after a win. And we get to see the behind the scenes of how Cafe went for them.
Nuki, it is about time, man. We've been waiting for these interviews to be up and live. We've been talking to you for some time about it specifically. Love the shirt and love the little cyber sign for you as well. How you doing, man? You got the flag as well, and it's so beautiful. I love seeing it. The Croatian sensation himself. How was Cafe for you, my man? You guys played exceptional throughout this entire tournament. You guys got your loss last week, coming off a rough 7-0. How did you prepare for your next game?
Well, last week we really saw, we saw that we had a flaw when we don't have our full 5-stack. But once we get that full 5-stack together, we're just a powerhouse. We do really well. This week, coming off the loss, we knew we lost, but we didn't let that keep our heads down. So we just held them up high. We did our homework. We looked at what they do. We know that they like to play really aggressive. We know that their drone game, they could probably work on that a little bit. Not trying to be a little bit mean with that, but. We knew that we could get some things done in that sense. So we did our homework and counter-stratted. So pretty proud of the boys. Proud of myself, 4-9. Absolute heater of a game. I did amazing that game. Just pretty proud of ourselves, Yeah, very proud in general.
It was good to see, though, and we saw in that last round, you guys were bringing all sorts of denial. You brought the Echo, you brought the Maestro, you brought the Solus, you brought the Smoke. What is going on with those strats? You're not letting anyone through or anyone in without that intel, so we like to see it. But have you been working on Cafe? Is that something that you've been doing?
Yeah, definitely. We've been doing a lot of scrims. You know, we've been taking the time. We've been taking the time to like look at the little things that we can pick out and that we can improve on, as well as what we can do to kind of counter the other teams. So we know that, you know, they like to push in the last like 15 or so seconds. So we just thought, you know, the more denial we have, the better. So, you know, maybe if we actually chucked the Goyo into the mix, it could have been even a bit worse for him.
That's something that KJ and I love to talk about. So it's been really good talking to you. Do you have anything else left to say before we head off, Mr. Croatian Sensation?
I got a few things. And number one, you can see it on the sign. Cyber absolutely smells. Shout out my girlfriend. Shout out my boy Salvo. He did nothing wrong. Free him up. Shout out name's Dave. He wanted me to give him a shout out. That's about it, guys. Great job casting tonight. I'll see you next week.
No worries. Thank you very much, Nuki. See you later.
Have a good one, boys.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Well, there you have it, Elisha.
Yeah, I mean, a Cafe game. I've loved today altogether. It's been quite amazing. Different games every single time. I do believe we have one more game after this, KJ.
We do, and it is the Kill Squad versus Nutty, so I think that's definitely going to be a good one. We've seen Nutty been playing so well recently, and they've been able to cause some upsets themselves, and I wonder if, you know, it is quite late if they're able to play as well as they have been these last couple weeks. So they are in that 5th place and Kill Squad in that 4th place. So we had a 2nd place, 3rd place game. Now we've got a 4th place, 5th place game. Who is going to take that 4th place? Kill Squad on that 4th place, Nutty in that 5th. Both have 2 losses, both have 3 wins. Who's going to find the 4th win? Who's going to take the 3rd L?
Well, if you're keen to find that out, definitely stick around because we will be back shortly after a very, very short break. So we'll have to wait and see then. So if you guys are keen, definitely stick around. And as I always say, stay healthy, stay hydrated. We'll see you guys soon.
See you guys soon.